Hey everybody, Lynn B, Thurgood, Oxford Wealth Advisors for another session of OWA Live. I'm going to reference today an article I read recently called 29 Ways Retirees Carelessly Waste Money. The link to that full article is in the description below. So, 10 top ideas that I wanted to share with you. Number one, investment fees. Be aware of whatever investment fees that you are paying, and take it a step further. What value are you getting for those fees? Make sure that if you're going to pay a fee that there's value. Not saying fees are bad, just understand what they are. They could be at 1 to 2% of assets that are being managed, and on a $1 million portfolio, that's $10,000 to $20,000 a year. So just be aware of those. Number two, overspending on cars. You know who you are. Be careful with the overspending on cars. A $35,000 vehicle and a $100,000 vehicle are going to get you where you need to go and get you back. So be careful with that. Number three would be having multiple cars. Do you really need to have multiple cars? Maybe you still need to have your own independence for a while, but eventually you might want to consolidate and just have one car and use other transportation as needed. And number four, falling victim to scams. Yeah, we have this happening a lot. I just got a text message from a client that said, hey, we need to talk about identity theft. There's been an issue. You know, my credit card was in Guatemala about 6 months ago. I wasn't. So there's things going on that you just be careful. Be very careful and avoid scams because they're all over the place. I got emails, I'm sure you have as well. My dad's almost 89 years old, and I'll tell you almost every other week, hey Lynn, here's another one I got about scams going on. And it's sad because a lot of the elderly population are targets for this type of activity, but it's not just the elderly. There's a lot of young folks that get caught up in these as well. So be careful with scams. Number five, owning two homes. Boy, it's nice to have that vacation home up in the mountains and then have your regular home. And gosh, we've had clients that have gotten homes in Hawaii and other places. Okay, you might even call an RV a home. Well, how much are you going to use it is maybe the recommendation there. And if you're only going to use an RV or that other home 2 or 3 or 4 weeks a year, use the, online, what do they call them, vacation rental by owner or some of these types of resources, and just rent for that 3 or 4 or 5 week period, and then don't have the overhead and all the expenses and insurance and maintenance and everything else that go on. Okay, number six, collecting Social Security too early. Be careful. We do a lot of education about Social Security strategies, when to turn it on, and if there was a marriage or a death or a divorce or all types of scenarios, when is the ideal time to maximize that benefit? So be aware of and just be careful. Don't take it as soon as you can because it's going broke. That's a panic mode. Be careful. There are problems. We don't disagree with that. With Social Security, reform is needed, but let's not knee-jerk. So be careful with that. And then making the most of your Social Security. Utilizing spousal benefits and other types of things. Timing. Right now, I'm not filing for Social Security. I just had my 65th birthday, and my full retirement age is 66 and 6 months. My wife is 3 years younger. I could file on her right now, but if I do that, then it triggers a reduced percent of my benefit that she would collect later, so it doesn't make sense to do that. So there's lots of things to look at. Forgoing Medicare and long-term care planning. Oh boy, that's a big one as we get older. Be sure you've got adequate medical and long-term care protection. Boy, because that can gobble up the assets quick. Paying more taxes than you need to. Get a tax return audit. We provide that in our office, Holistaplan. Get one of our advisors or team members to do that for you. It's a free service we offer to just do a quick audit. See if there's any tweaks you need to do, and then take that to your tax person. We don't give legal or tax advice, but we can direct you to ask some good questions. And then finally, starting a new business. I don't know how many folks I've talked to that have retired and then they've started a new business, franchise fees and all these other types of fees. Wow. Think about that before you do that. All right, that's it for now. OWA Live, happy to be here. Hope you're doing well. Take care.